Okay, welcome back to A Mind for Life. This is the third video, the final video in the Meelod DK200 e-bike review. The first video was the unboxing and build. Second video was performance and specs, or specs and performance. This video will just be final thoughts and recommendations. I've ridden the bike over 160 miles by this point, so I'm giving you a richer point of view on what this bike is about than if I were to just do same day boxing and giving you guys some information. All right, now keep in mind there is a discount code in the description. You can get a nice discount on this bike, and it's a great bike. I'm a bike rider. I ride bikes. Everyone that knows me knows I ride. So I ride for work, errands, fun, stuff like that. So this is close to me, and it's more of a journey. So sit back and you'll see the bike in a series of different environments. All right. So I'll see you at the end of the video. Peace.
Okay, here we are in nature, and it's a really cool thing to have an e-bike. This is my first e-bike, guys, so you can get to places that you could get to before, but you can get there in a more free way. Like, I can just go straight from where I am, say straight from my house to spots I like in nature, and or in the city, or visiting friends or whatever. And I'm not so concerned about the time or how's the traffic going to be, or am I going to be tired, when I'm trying to get back, because I can do pedal assist. There are like 5 pedal assist settings, and I can get to where I want to go. If I want to hit the throttle, I can do that. But anything that adds peace to your life, I think, is worth it. And right now, I'm not using a car right now. Since the shutdowns a couple years ago, I sort of made a decision to sort of back up off of some things, and a vehicle with all of its attachments and so forth. This is one of my favorite picks of the bike right here. Just something really rugged about it. This one is nice too. Another scene. We're still in the trails here. This is a very recent scene. And this is the current mileage on the bike as of this narration. Now this is a nighttime scene, and you can see how bright the headlight is. You can also see that the headlight does jiggle. See that? It's not a fault of the manufacturer. To me, this is just the way the bike is put together. I would suggest them to become more unique and improve on some of these features. With so many e-bikes flooding the marketplace and people using the same template for e-bikes and just putting their name on there, it's really something special when a company goes that extra mile and tweaks things to make them unique and distinctive, and it adds just that subtle touch of functionality. I was actually lost here. I would have never been on this side with my regular bike. But that's a really cool factory scene. You see that plume? That's from a rocket. There we go again. Again, one hand is holding my phone, so I didn't get a chance to get the rocket. Whoever thought we'd be riding electric bikes and seeing rockets in the sky? Nice beach scene of the bike. Gorgeous sunset. Irresistible. Again, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Okay, so this is a riding scene of a trail. Actually, haven't been to this trail in quite a while, but this trail is not that far from where I live, maybe about 20 miles or so, 20, 25 miles. And again, the cool thing is I can just go straight from where I live straight to the trail, and and if I want to leave the trail, I can leave the trail. I don't have to worry about putting my bike in a car or pedaling back, and I'm tired because I've been on the trail. You know, this bike does really well on these types of trails. Those 4x20 fat tires, they really hug the trail. You might hear some background noise, guys. This is like a few times I've recorded this to try to not have background noise, but it just seems like it's even at this hour, I've got little things happening. So you see those grooves in the road. Now this bike, we'll go over those. You see I'm going over those. I wouldn't say that those are a problem for this bike. This bike is not a very agile, nimble bike. It's more of a very centered bike, meaning that it has a low center of gravity. Like I never really feel like I'm about to fall ever on this bike. With the combination of the low center of gravity and the 4x20 tires, you know, I'm just sitting on the road. Like did you see that bike right there? I have something like that. And when I'm on these types of trails with that kind of bike, it's man, if I hit a rock the wrong way, I'm gonna slip. Just a rock. Whereas this bike here, when it comes to rocks and things like that, it's no problem. It just goes right over those. It actually hugs the ground. You got a person, was that somebody over there? Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Those are pretty big though. Those are pretty big. Those are not hills. Yeah, those are not hills. Those are, I don't know what you call them, maybe between a mountain and a very, very huge hills or something like that. But like this particular spot here was on a regular bike, it was a little bit too far. Because you got to figure, you're going to ride there. Then when you get here, you're going to ride the trail itself, right? And then you got to ride back home. So with this particular e-bike, this DK200, man, I can just, I didn't fall right there. I just, again, I'm holding the phone with one hand and the handlebars with the other. And it just got a little bit too fast for me. So here we are with the bike again, and we've got some really nice images of the bike here. Again, I really like that logo. It's a really cool logo. You got that mirrored finish, something like a black mirror. You know, sometimes it looks black, sometimes it looks white, sometimes it looks like a mirror, sometimes it looks like whatever it's reflecting. And you can see look at the yellow sticker on the fork. You see that? That tells you that you shouldn't be jumping off hills or riding aggressive and rough. And it makes sense. This is really not that type of bike. You know, trails, paved trails, gravel trails, hills, city streets, nighttime city, all of that is good for this bike. So let's talk about security for a second. So you see here, this is a nighttime, and my bike is locked up with a U-lock through the frame. I don't have the cables on the bike because I'm on that street. So it's if I were going far, I would put cables on. Number one, it's a decent neighborhood. Number two, well lit. And I'm parking next to other e-bikes, like this e-bike I'm parked next to, which is a really nice e-bike. That sort of makes a difference, you know. That makes a difference. That when I came back to my bike, the guy who had this bike was actually checking out my bike. And this Meelod captures a lot of attention. It really does. All right, so let's look at another nighttime scene. And I'm showing you this scene because I want you to check out a couple of things. First of all, look at the headlight. See it? Really super bright. Second thing, listen to the fender rattle. This is my neighborhood. Listen to the fender rattle, and you can hear it rattle a bit. Now, these city streets are not in great shape. They're rougher than trails. Yeah, see that? The headlight wiggles a little bit. Again, not the fault of the Meelod, but it's just the way the bike is designed. Again, for Meelod, I would to be a long-standing company with, you know, really a name brand awareness and quality associated with the name, great customer service. It's important to make yourself unique, and one of the things they could do is stabilize that headlight. Just why not? So I feel really, really comfortable riding this bike in the street. Not a regular bike, especially at night. Number one, I'm highly visible. Number two, speed. I can hang with the cars on these residential streets. So I think the speed limit over here is like 25. I got that real easy. Okay, so let's talk about battery management. And now in a couple previous videos, I talked about you being your own battery management system. So yes, you, depending on where you plan to go, this may sound like common sense to some of you all, but others who are new to e-bikes, this would be insightful. You have to gauge where you are and where you want to go by how you use your battery. So you don't always have to throttle. You don't even have to always use pedal assist. You can turn the battery off and still ride the bike, guys. That will extend your battery life on that particular day. Here's a good example of that because I'm going to let you hear some audio.
Now are those are real mountain.
Okay, so I wouldn't just ride down that incline. It's pretty steep. There's my mileage. And you see I've got out of 6 notches, I've got 4, and that's arbitrary. There's so many unknowns in what constitutes how much battery life is left per notch. We can get into all of that, but that's not the point. It's important to learn to learn the bike, to learn how the bike works with your weight, with where you're going, the terrain, if it's stop and go, if you're on a paved trail that goes for miles and you don't have to do stop and go. All of those things matter. Here, I actually turn the battery off. Even though I had 4 out of 6 notches left with its arbitrary nature, there you go, you see the screen? I turn the battery off. I'm going to that structure on the left because I'm lost right now. But it's a good thing to be lost on the e-bike when you're doing your own battery management stuff. I'm not knowing where I'm going. I'm like, okay, let me just turn the battery off until I see what's going on. And voila, I found this, and this was totally unexpected. I didn't know this was here. I didn't know where I was going to end up. But that's part of the fun of an e-bike, is that you can explore. Because in the back of your mind, you know, okay, I can jet out of here anytime I want. And it doesn't matter if I've been riding several hours, getting back home is going to be pretty easy because I can just do pedal assist, or I'll use throttle a lot more when I'm on my way home if I'm doing a long trip. If I'm just in the neighborhood, I'll use throttle anytime I feel like it. I hit it. This is absolutely stunning. On one side is this endless nature, and on the other side is this expansive park. And here's another view. Look at that. Look what I discovered. That's, to me, this is the fun of having an e-bike. Discovery. Adventure. Here's this park. And you're going to see a little bit more of it in a second. This was a big discovery. I can go in if I want. Again, managing that battery. So it's not like I'm out in the middle of nowhere and, oh, I've only got so many notches. That should never happen. Adjust your riding style on that particular trip. I think that's the bottom line. That's your battery management. I would like to get the courage up to come here at night. That would be crazy, right? Again, another view. You can see it just goes on. And you know, the weather, it being hot, sometimes if you're going to ride a long distance, take a break. Turn the battery off. Get in the shade. So we're sort of winding it up now. And again, this is a huge pond at this park that gives, everything is brand new for me. And guys, this is worth the price of an e-bike. If you're in tune with this, and this video is for you, it's worth the price. And their customer service, I must say, is really good. Now, this is how we ended it up. Didn't expect this, never seen this before. I have seen these birds, peacocks, in canyon before, but not so comfortable with people. And this is a park. I said feeling my energy and not running away, right? But yeah, this was totally unexpected. And I grew up in the city, so I've never, this is like new to me. I think the males are the ones that's really ornate, right? Colorful and stuff. All right, so let's talk about, I want to just touch on this right quick. I had been talking to you guys about this from the first video, about name brands and stuff like that. What bike do you think this is? Do you think this is Meelod DK200? You've seen my bike enough. Now, you see their logo on the top of the battery, but what's that EE on the side? What's this all about? Okay, so the story is that these bikes were sold to a bike shop owner who I got permission to shoot this video by some people who had these bikes in boxes. The boxes said Meelod on the box. Inside of the box was a bike and a user manual that said Meelod. It was a Xerox copy. I didn't know this at the time, but I just felt like something was wrong because the owner told me that there were no refunds on the bike. in that you contact Meelod for customer service. It just seemed weird to me because if you if you create something and you believe in it, you're going to put your name on it. So I looked up Meelod, the company, and I called them and I asked them about it, and they said, "Hey, look, we don't have anything to do with that, and we don't warranty bikes who don't that don't come through official channels." So turned out that these people were either selling bikes that were rejects or they were hot or whatever the case may be. I actually called the people who sold these bikes and they ducked out. The phone got disconnected. I couldn't get in touch with them again. Can you imagine that? So it made me really, self-conscious about customer service and how things might work out. So after looking up the company and emailing them, we had lots of conversations, and they assured me that they were real and they were official and they were legit. And after more conversations with them, uh, actually, I looked them up on Amazon, and they were aware of this. So we talked more, long story short, and I ended up ordering the bike. I took a chance, and after more research with my financial, company that I would use to purchase. So I ordered the bike on a Wednesday, got it on a Friday morning, and you saw from the first video it was excellent. The bike was delivered in excellent condition, and I've went back and forth with customer service a bit, and I'm obviously an affiliate of them. So I'm I'm glad I was patient. But that was my first encounter with the the bike, and that was my first time actually riding an electric bike. And I did ride a few other bikes that were around that same time, but none had the character, the vibe, the aggressiveness as far as the throttle goes and the speed of this bike. And those were qualities I really wanted something minimalistic. I didn't really need all the bells and whistles uh, that some of these e-bikes have. I wanted more of an emphasis on performance. I didn't want gears. I didn't want to be concerned with a cassette and different two or three different keys, and all of that's fine if that's what you want. But in my case, I wanted something simple. So with that being said, we are at the end of this video. I'm going to leave you with something really sweet, and then I'm going to come back and wrap it up. Okay? All right. Peace.
Okay, so hope you enjoyed that. And that ends our 3-video series as a review on the Meelod DK200 e-bike. All right, you have every piece of information you would need to make your decision. And it's a great e-bike. That is my final judgment of it after riding it over 160 miles. All right. Again, if you look in the description, there is a discount code for the bike. You can get a nice discount on this bike from this video. Use the code when you check out. Just put it in and you'll be fine. All right. Peace out.